I'd like to share something I don't talk about very often, not because I'm ashamed of it, but because for a long time, I wasn't sure the world was ready to hear it. Or maybe I just wasn't ready to say it. But my new book has changed all that. My name is Errol Amerasekera, and I am the developer of adaptive safety. In the coming weeks, my new book, From Fear to Flow, The Adaptive Safety Revolution, will be released. But before I tell you about the book, I need to tell you why I wrote it, because these two things really are inseparable. So please stay tuned. What I want to share is that I grew up as an outsider, not really knowing if or where I belonged. You see, my parents migrated from Sri Lanka to England, and then in the early 1970s, our family came to Australia. We settled in southeast Melbourne at a time when very few families looked like ours. This meant that from a young age, I knew what it was like to stand out in a room before I'd even said a word. From year 5 through to around year 9, I went through some of the most difficult years of my life. Right now, the specifics aren't really the point, but what matters is what those years taught me about what it feels like to operate without safety. To walk into a classroom braced for what might happen, to read every room before entering it, and to learn very young that environments can be hostile, and that survival sometimes means staying small, staying quiet, or staying watchful. Back then, we didn't have the language for any of this. We didn't talk about mental health. We didn't talk about psychological safety. But looking back now, it's pretty clear those years left a mark on me. For much of that time, I felt like I didn't belong, I didn't feel valued, and I definitely didn't feel safe. So fast forward the best part of 4 decades. It's perhaps unsurprising that so much of my work involves supporting organizations to build high performance cultures where people feel like they belong, where they feel seen, and perhaps most importantly, where they feel safe. I have come to believe that for some of us, maybe even many of us, what kind of like shapes our direction in life is the need to create the kind of world that we ourselves needed as kids. This is certainly true for me. From Fear to Flow is the culmination of that work. It's practical, it's grounded in real world conditions, and it gives leaders and teams clear, actionable ways to embed high performance habits into the rhythms of everyday work so that trust and challenge can coexist. Learning can happen in real time, and performance holds precisely when it matters the most. It's not a theory, it's not a framework sitting on the shelf, it's lived experience translated into practice. So over the next 8 weeks, I'll be releasing a series of blogs and videos unpacking the core ideas of adaptive safety. So what it means, why it matters, and why it's essential in fast-moving, high-pressure environments. We'll cover topics like why I believe the current leadership playbook is no longer capable of optimizing performance, and the critical difference between underperformance and fear. We'll explore why subtle relational cues, what I call micro behaviors, are one of the keys to culture, and how the 3 pillars of adaptive safety, so trust, connection, and inclusion, enable teams to stay connected and perform under pressure. You don't need to read the book to get value from this series. Each piece will stand on its own. But of course, I hope when you're ready, you'll pick up the book and bring these ideas into your own organization. I'll be honest with you, sharing the personal part of my story still takes something from me. But I share it because I know I'm not alone. There are people sitting in workplaces right now who don't feel like they belong, who don't feel seen, and who don't feel safe. This work is for them. Perhaps it's always been about them. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.